Welcome back, my Elvis fanatics. And today we're going to get back to Ashley's adventures. I'm enjoying her content, so might as well do it again. This one's called Damage at Graceland, Secret Graceland. Interesting. And don't forget, her link to her channel will be in the description. Subscribe, notification bells on. She got great content. I'm telling you, you're not going to miss. Don't miss it, please. Subscribe to her channel. Don't make me come haunt you, because I will. I know where y'all live. Test me. Just kidding. Let's get right into it, guys. Ashley's adventure. Boom, boom.
Hi, detectives. Today we're going to dive into one of my favorite topics, our beloved Graceland. From the time that Elvis lived there and even some of the changes since then. We'll discuss the details of the rooms following the path that you would go on a tour. Let's get started. When Elvis purchased Graceland, Graceland Christian Church was next door, and at the time, the church building had been used to store canned goods. That building is now the offices of Elvis Presley Enterprises, but Graceland itself had been vacant for several years. The Presleys added a fresh coat of paint to their new home by hiring non-union painters, which didn't sound like a big deal to me, but since unions knew that Elvis was in a movie union, the Screen Actors Guild, they were upset and picketed in front of Graceland. Which is why, when the Presleys moved on to their next project, they did things differently. Elvis wasted no time creating privacy and had the iconic gates and brick wall installed about a month after buying the property. In fact, in this picture, they clearly demonstrated they did things right by hiring union bricklayers.
Yep.
The gates actually weren't painted right away like we know them today. They stayed unpainted for about a year after installation. I know I've talked about this before, but it bears repeating, and I'll probably add it to another video because it's just that fascinating to me. But in 1977, Elvis shot his toilet in his upstairs bathroom, and water started gushing into the front hallway from the ceiling. The toilet was replaced, but there is still a bullet lodged into the bathroom floor, and the ceiling right beneath it.
Yo, Elvis, what the hell did the toilet do to you? Jesus Christ, he shot the toilet. Now, what do you think was going to happen? You know, that water was going to come out, bubbling out. You know that. Oh, man, Elvis, man. In Spanish, tú no piensa. You don't think.
You can clearly see where it was patched. Next time you walk into Graceland, look up and to the right.
She got
and you'll
pictures
see
and
that
everything.
patch. Inside the mansion, there were TVs in nearly every room, and Elvis liked for them to be on constantly. In the living room, these pictures of Elvis and his parents were taken in front of what is now the stained glass peacock on the right.
Hold on, let me go back. Look at Elvis' mom's face. She don't even look happy. Poor lady.
Elvis and his parents were taken in front of what is now the stained glass peacock on the right. Musical talent didn't start with Elvis. His father Vernon had a nice singing voice, and so did his mother, Grandma Minnie May. She kept an organ in her bedroom and would spend hours singing and playing hymns. After she passed away in 1980, Aunt Delta moved into her bedroom and changed the lavender theme to green. Now on to the kitchen. You know the double oven that you stand next to as you gaze upon the king's kitchen? Well, this Jen Eyre stainless steel oven was given to Elvis and Priscilla as a wedding gift from Vernon. And you know the dark stairway behind you? That was the one that Elvis used the most, not the main stairs in the foyer. I've never seen a picture of the main area of the kitchen prior to the 1970s, but I do have a description. It had light tile, red enamel cabinets, a stainless steel sink, and 2 refrigerators just like today. One was red, one was white. You know the couple steps that lead down from the kitchen to the jungle room where Elvis recorded? In just about this area used to be a small table where Elvis and his parents ate together in the 1950s. Down to the basement. When Elvis moved in, this space was unfinished. Even so, the previous tenants used to hold functions down there, and the 2 bathrooms were labeled boys and girls. In a previous video, I mentioned the crystal ball from the billiard room as being from Elvis's office on Hillcrest, but that's not true. This picture was actually taken on Monteville Drive in Beverly Hills. In the 70s, the crystal ball was on this shelf. Now it's on this chest. The jungle room, or the den at the time, used to have lattice all around the room, which can be seen in this still from Priscilla's 22nd birthday. When the decor was changed to the Polynesian theme, the big round chair in the jungle room could only fit by removing the glass from the window and moving it in. At the end of his life, Vernon moved back into Graceland
Ashley,
into
I
the
praise
annex,
you.
or the converted
The
garage
research you've
apartment,
done,
to be close
the
to his
knowledge
mother
you
and his
have.
sister, but
You're a
also
true
to be on the
historian.
first floor. By that point, he'd already suffered multiple heart attacks, so it made climbing steps difficult. Now let's talk about the upstairs, shall we? So the room that eventually became Lisa Marie's was once a sort of conference room with a long table in it. I took this picture of a sketch at Graceland a few years ago, not knowing what I was looking at, but I'm pretty sure this is it. Prior to 1974, Elvis's carpet was gold, and there were recessed neon lights that ran the perimeter of the ceiling. Facing the bathroom door, there are two small closets. I look like a flight attendant. There are two small closets on either side, and
It's
according
true, you
to
do. I'm
housekeeper
sorry,
Nancy
Ashley.
Rooks, the left contained pajamas, robes, and slippers, and on the right there was a small fridge typically stocked with popsicles, Eskimo pies, sliced fruit, and ice water. Beyond the bathroom was his
Eskimo pie.
dressing
That sounds
room.
good.
In there was a white dresser for socks and undies, and Nancy also said that he did not wear t-shirts. This dressing room is on the left if you're facing the house, and there used to be an AC unit in the window that had to be removed prior to the tours. It wasn't totally a smooth transition from home to museum. You have to figure this was Aunt
That's
Delta's
true.
home
It
from
was his home,
1967 all the way up until her death in 1993. So when her home opened to the public in 1982, she was not pleased. Sometimes
The 90s. Loud. Busy.
after a few drinks and in her robe and curlers, she would yell at the tourists to get the hell out of her house. Now let's talk about the grounds. The portion of the trophy building that's known as the Hall of Gold has had a few transformations. This is the long hallway that used to house countless gold records, but now displays artifacts such as receipts. Initially, this long stretch was just a walkway
Interesting.
from the music room down to the pool until 1964 when it was covered. Then in 1975, it became enclosed. You can see here that there are walls in this mid-70s picture. Elvis had a privacy fence built around the pool so neighbors wouldn't spy when they went swimming. When he was ready to go out to the pool, he would walk from the music room down through the trophy area. Actually, before the trophy area was even built, this place was a shady spot for barbecuing. Before Elvis was the king of this castle, the area where the meditation garden is now was once a small vineyard. You might have noticed a statue of Jesus on a cement platform as you overlook the pool. This statue was actually just outside the trophy building in the 1970s. Just to the right of the trophy building were once dressing rooms and restrooms for the pool area. This is what they look like inside. But since Graceland opened to the public, you can't have a museum without restrooms, so these were renovated to public restrooms. Here's a picture as they were being renovated just before they opened in 1982. The process to move Elvis and his mother to be laid to rest at Graceland was a lot harder than it sounds. They needed to obtain the proper permits, but they also needed to get permission from the neighbors to essentially live next door to a cemetery. Graceland isn't just the resting place of Elvis, his parents, and grandmother.
You're right, because
There
they
are
are
also
buried
some
there,
beloved
so
pets
it's
of
considered a
varying
cemetery.
sizes buried on the property. In 1986,
Wow.
Aunt Delta's Pomeranian Edmund, who was initially Elvis's dog, died and was buried in the pasture. Here's a picture of her watering his grave from Nancy Rooks'
awesome.
book, Inside Graceland. Just a few days later, Elvis's beloved horse, Rising Sun, died and was buried in the pasture near the barn,
Sammy, I just seen
facing
your
east
your
towards the
comment.
rising
It's
sun.
come up right now, Sammy.
In 1993,
When I'm doing this
Lisa
video.
Marie's pony Mariah died and she was buried near the other. Now let's go back out front to the iconic gates where a few of the music notes have broken off over the years. I first noticed one, and as I started looking for it, I saw that multiple were missing at different times. Here's a picture from 1962 where we can see that this one is just a line, and then 2 years later, the details on the gate are painted green, but it's still just a line. This postcard from the 70s shows that this single note is now missing a piece. This is actually the same picture. Pictures from August 1977 show it, and in this still from a 1984 documentary, it's still not yet fixed. And that is it. If you enjoyed this video, please help me out by giving it a big thumbs up.
Please do,
subscribe
everybody.
to my channel. It is 100% free.
Definitely.
Let me know in the comments
And it's
below
worth
if you
it.
enjoy this information about Graceland. And if so, I have tons more to share with you. As always, thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe for more adventures.
Definitely, guys. Please subscribe to Ashley's Adventures. It is an adventure. She has so much information. She's like a walking encyclopedia, this lady. And we appreciate her. Sammy, thank you very much for introducing me to her. Appreciate you so much. Subscribe to the channel, everyone. Leave a like, comment, notification bells on. And you get all my videos. Remember, like she said, it's free. You know, it don't hurt nothing. Just a click, another click, and that's it. Peace.